Hello there, my name is Steve Mattis, in case you don't know me, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to answer a question that came up from a video that I posted on February 1st, 2019. And that question was about healthy relationship. In that video, I talked about maintaining healthy relationship with the different things in our life, and if you're in business, with your business and the different aspects of your business. And one of the questions that came in was, what is healthy relationship and how do I begin? How do I start? What are some specific small steps I can take to begin developing healthy relationship with things in my life and or my business? All right, welcome back. And before we get started, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel and like the video by clicking the thumbs up if you're able to do that. If this video works for you, that helps give me good feedback that I'm doing a good job. And if you don't like the video, click the thumbs down on it as well. Either one is fine. I'm not attached to which one, but the feedback is helpful. Today I want to talk about healthy relationship and how do we maintain and establish healthy relationship, especially as it relates to our business. But the principles that I'm going to talk about today really apply to anything. The first thing I want to talk about is, number one, what is healthy? And secondly, what is relationship? I want to talk about that from a spiritual perspective and from a heart perspective. So healthy, according to the dictionary, and I'm going off memory here, is about being free of disease or infection. And of course, I like to use the term disease because it's dis-ease, right? When there's dis-ease in our body, that feels unhealthy, right? Also, relationship is how two or more things are interrelated or connected, how they relate to each other, right? So when we think about healthy relationship, we think about having ourselves and the object that we're relating to, our business or an aspect of our business like marketing or something else, being interconnected or relating to one another, and being able to do so in a way that's free from dis-ease. From a spiritual perspective, I think about this in terms of being able to be in relationship with a thing, my business, marketing, so on and so forth, and to be able to stay connected to my heart and to love while I'm relating to the thing. Because when I feel disconnected from myself or my heart, I feel dis-ease. When I'm disconnected from my heart, I feel a lack or an absence of ease. So that's really what we're looking at here in maintaining and establishing healthy relationship, is finding a place where we can stay connected to our heart so that we can feel some sense of ease or the presence of love. The example that I'd like to use today, just as something to kind of latch onto, nuts and bolts, kind of a grounded, earthy thing, is let's talk about sending out a newsletter for your business, right? To your list of people. As you think about that maybe that brings up for you, oh, I don't want to. Like, I don't know what to write. I don't know if this is good enough. I don't know if people are even reading this. I don't know if I'm any good at writing. And there's all of this resistance and all of this difficulty, this dis-ease in relating to sending out a newsletter. It's not healthy relationship. So as we think about healthy relationship and finding healthy relationship, let me also just clear the air here and talk about what this doesn't mean. Healthy relationship doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden going to love sending out your newsletter and you can't wait. It's that even though you might feel some anxiety or some doubt or some curiosity about whether or not you said it right or whether or not it's going to land with people, that also you feel connected with your heart. Being connected with your heart does not mean that there is an absence of uncomfortable emotion. uncomfortable emotion can coexist while being connected with our heart. And so what I'd like to do today is I'd like to share in this particular situation, what are some steps that we can take to begin to allow space and room enough for both of those to be here? And it's just a place to start. This video isn't going to go into all the detail. There is so much nuance and so much al-latif, which is an Arabic word, divine quality for the subtle. There's a lot of subtlety in working with this. But what I'm going to share today is going to at least give you a pathway in to start. So the first thing to do is to notice. Notice what's alive in you. So often when we're thinking about this thing that we're trying to be in relationship with, that we feel dis-ease with, we want to get to a place where it's more comfortable, where we enjoy it, or where we're excited about it, or where we're some other way than what we are. And that intention to be different, to get somewhere else, to be in a different place, that actually creates more dis-ease. What it does is it bypasses our heart. It bypasses what's true for you. And it diminishes you. It diminishes what's real for you. And by trying to ignore that or to push through that, we're actually harming parts of ourselves. Because we're telling those parts that you don't matter and we're not listening to you and you're in the way and you're bad, which creates shame, which isn't healthy either. And so we start all of this by just noticing what is true for you, what is alive for you. And from this place, layers will begin to open and peel back when we just try to be with where we are without needing to change it, without needing to fix anything, without needing to shift or to relax or to open or anything else. Let yourself be with what's true for you. That's the first step. And then from there, we can begin to inquire whether or not you can connect with love and compassion and kindness in that place without trying to use love or compassion or kindness to get out of that place, to pull you out of that place, but instead to be with you in that place. That's where the medicine is. That love is available even in that place. And in this moment, when we're in that place, we're present with what's alive in us and how we feel in relationship to this thing, the sending out of the newsletter in our example today. We have to let go of everything we think we know about how it's supposed to be, what we should be doing. We have to let all of that go. How do we let that go, right? We use the tool of curiosity. Being curious, letting yourself be curious. What if I didn't know that it's supposed to go this way? What if I didn't know that I'm supposed to send a newsletter? What if I didn't even know what a newsletter was? What if? And if you can embrace your curiosity, that will help you to open and relax. And what I often find in my experience is that the dis-ease that I feel is often because of everything that I think I know about it. It's full of shoulds and expectations that I didn't sign up for. It's just what people have told me I'm supposed to do in order to be successful. And what if you could be curious about all that stuff instead of believing it? What if you could just be curious about it? And then notice what that does for your relationship with it. And then bring in, connect with, invite, be open to the presence of love and kindness and compassion for your own heart, right where you are. What if it was okay to hate sending out newsletters? Is love available? Can you be compassionate with yourself in that spot? That's the next step. That's the next step. And to me, this is the magic bullet. This is the magic step. This is always in my practice where I trip up. I want to skip this part and just get to making it better so I can get the task done. And I believe that what our hearts need most in life, in our relationships, in business, in everything, is for us to stop and to be present with where we are and find a connection to love and kindness and compassion and respect for right where we are. That it's okay to feel that way. You don't have to like sending out a newsletter. Anybody that tells you you ever have to like it is full of shit. They're wrong. You never ever have to like it. Ever. There's more than one way to make it through in this world. There's more than one way to be successful in business. Sending out a newsletter doesn't have to be one of them. But what does have to happen, not to be dogmatic about it, but one of the things that I believe does have to change is we have to learn to bring love and care and kindness and compassion to our hearts as we do this work. If we can't do that, I can promise you, you're sunk. It won't work. You can only push your heart away so long before it breaks open and your life breaks open, or collapses is probably a better way to put it. And so these steps are just the most important steps of all, and that's how we start to find healthy relationship with anything outside of us, is by finding healthy relationship inside of us. Finding the love and compassion right where you are. Right where you are. And then, as you do your work, if you believe in the divine, if you believe in the universe, a higher power, the divine feminine, nature, whatever it happens to be, whatever your concept of the divine is, the universe, whatever it is, leaning into that and being in connection with that and asking to be held by the greater reality around you of the divine in this place. Finding your okayness in this place. And then after you've done some of that work, then turning and looking again. So it's almost like we look at our relationship with the thing and we let that be real. I hate newsletters. I just want to, they make me hot and I feel it in my body and my face gets all red. And we're really with that, right? And then we open up and we're like, maybe I don't know anything about that. Maybe we get really curious. Like, I don't know. Maybe what if it's okay? What if it's okay to not like newsletters? What if it's okay that they bug me? What if it's okay? It makes me feel all jittery inside and it absolutely makes me want to close up like an armadillo. What if that was okay? Can we connect with love and compassion? And so it's almost like we are looking at our relationship with the thing, and then we turn away from that thing and allow us to just be in our heart and allow our heart to turn towards the divine. And we're just in that space where we're allowed to be how we are. We're allowed to feel how we feel. And we get our hearts nourished in that place. And then from that place, once our hearts have been nourished, then we can allow our heart to turn back towards the thing and look at it again. And from a nourished place, just notice. You don't have to jump in and send a newsletter. Like, that's not how this works. It isn't going to change everything. It might not. But after your heart is nourished, if you look with a fresh heart, fresh eyes, fresh mind at sending a newsletter, What does it look like now? Sometimes the energy is taken out of it. The dis-ease is lessened. There's a little bit of healing. There's a little bit more softness. And maybe what we find is a willingness to take just a small step. Maybe a newsletter is too much for you. You know, there's a lot of trauma and there's a lot of shame in our world. Many of us who are business owners, we hit these walls with, it's like sending out a newsletter or posting on social media or whatever, not because those things are hard. They're really not that hard. It's not those things. We all know how to type. We all know how to put words together into sentences. We know how to do that stuff. It's in here. It's in here. This is where it gets hard. It's not out there. It's in here. So we have to take care of this in here. Sometimes there's nuts and bolts, like we don't know how to make MailChimp or Infusionsoft or Aweber or ConvertKit or whatever tool we're using, how to make that work, like in technology, and how do I get a template set up? Sometimes there's nuts and bolts, things that we need to learn that actually get in our way. And that's just education. We learn how to do that, right? We learn how to do that and then we can do it. No big deal. Might take some time, energy, attention, money to get trained on that, but we can overcome those obstacles. That's just stuff. But in here, that's big work. That's big work. It takes time. And I have to be honest, it's frustrating as hell to have to spend so much time working on the inside stuff so that we can simply just show up in our business and send a freaking newsletter. Right? I'm with you. I have so much empathy. I get it. I so get it. I struggle with this stuff too. And this is my process. This is how I keep going. This is what I do for every video that I send. I have to be in healthy relationship with it. And it starts by me being real with myself, going inward, being honest, and letting myself be held by the divine, by my heart, in kindness and compassion. And when I find that place, all of a sudden it feels way more okay for me to push record. So those are the steps I wanted to share today. This is how you start to develop healthy relationship. It doesn't transform in a moment. These things take time, but what we find is a way to take a step, or we find a way to not take that step and take a different step. Maybe the compassion that we find in ourselves is justifiable. Like, you know what? You hate writing newsletters. Fine, don't. What can you do? What does your heart feel able to do? Well, do that and do it well. Don't believe. Part of the problem in small business is that we are told that we have to do these things. And generally it's not true. There's so many ways to reach people. There's so many ways. We just have to find the ways that work for us, that we're willing to do, that have less dis-ease to us. There's some things that we're going to need to do in business that, we're not going to be all jazzed up about, and we have to push through that. It's okay to push sometimes, but not if it's going to hurt ourselves. Not if it's going to create chaos or shame, because that will end up building up and then stopping us cold, and that's not helpful. So take a chance with these steps that I've shared today. Practice with that for a while. Again, it's not just one time, it's not just two times. This is a consistent practice that has to be employed with almost everything. And yeah, it takes time. It takes time, but it's so worth it. And it makes things better. Most of all, the best benefit of all is that it helps with everything. Not just business, not just kids, not just relationships, everything. This practice, this process that I'm sharing today helps with everything. I hope this is helpful for you. I would love to hear your comments if you have questions about it, if you try it and it doesn't work. One of the key things is to really check your expectations as you go into it, that you think it's going to be this way when it's over. We have to drop all the expectations and just go in with an open heart, with curiosity. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes you're just as full of disease with newsletters as when you started. It's a practice. It's a practice that we do. And so I would love to hear about your practice. What's working for you? What's not working for you? Where are you feeling stuck? What can't you find healthy relationship with? And what questions does that bring up for you? Feel free to ask a question or make a comment in the comments below. That's always helpful for me. And as always, I'd be happy to record a video response or a reply in the comments itself. I wish you all the best. Stay in your heart. Remember, may the will of love be done. Always. Take good care. Bye.